Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our final speaker of the day. Hope everyone enjoyed their day, and we're going to wrap it up with the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, we have Jim Grayson here. He's a director of ticket sales at the Milwaukee Bucks, and the general theme of his presentation today is the importance of relationship selling. Jim Grayson, director of sales for the Milwaukee Bucks, joined the Bucks organization as a public relations intern in 1985. He has led the Bucks sales team since the early 90s, and at various times has overseen game operations, community relations, advertising, and marketing. He is currently involved in marketing, advertising, and digital media space. Jim is a 1985 graduate from UW-Milwaukee. UW-Milwaukee? Woo! Yes. Where he studied in the School of Communications for Journalism. So let's give it up for Jim, guys.
Oh, good, it's on. You can hear me? Can or can't? Can, good, okay. Very, very trite statement. It really is. You hear all the time, what a difference a year makes. What a difference a year makes for me and for my team. Who was here last year? If you recall last year when I stood here, I could not talk about players anywhere in the league because of what? We had a lockout going on. When I was here last year, and this is no joke, I had no appointment or meeting on the day that I visited, and I probably didn't have a meeting or appointment that week or the month of October. Fortunately, about a month after this, so maybe you guys were the good luck charm for me, it's settled on Thanksgiving weekend. We reached an agreement with the players, and we started our season right around Christmas. We played a 66-game season, which is down from a normal 82-game season. It is incredibly unsettling. I remember, I actually, as I was on my drive here today, I heard an announcement on ESPN that the NHL has canceled all of their games for November. And I got a pit in my stomach because I know how awful it was to live that. You have no idea what the outcome's going to be. You don't know where it's going to end. There have been teams or leagues that have had labor stoppages for the entire year. Again, we were fortunate it didn't happen. We were quite concerned going in on what the impact it would have on our fans, with good reason. When you shut down your business, it's not good for business. So, the first slide, I'm very, very grateful, and it's rather remarkable that I can stand here today and talk about these three notes. It is very good times for us. We will go into this season with a near-record renewal rate. The league announced earlier this week that we will sell more tickets overall, not just renewal, which is our season ticket holders, than we ever have before. So we came back in a really significant way. 2011-12 season was the highest rated, most viewed in ABC history. Highest on network TV since 98-99. If you follow at all ratings have been on a mass decline for literally everything other than the Super Bowl and, of late, sports. Why? Because I think it's live entertainment. You don't want to DVR it. You don't want to put it off. Because it's live, because it's competition, you want to see it and view it in real time. The other note, ESPN TNT. Second most viewed in ESPN history, most viewed in Turner TNT, 28-year NBA partnership. We're fortunate and blessed to have come out of the situation we were in a year ago with flying colors. We have a red-hot sport in a red-hot league. Our brand is super strong. The core of our brand is our teams, but mostly our players. Our players' Q ratings, which is a popularity rating, is always extremely high as compared to other teams, other sports, and in the entertainment business overall. Our players are really popular. They are the core. With that said, I think what has happened more than anything else to spur this popularity surge is the fact that we're connected. These 3 notes, at least the top one, is almost hard to comprehend. Sports TV programming makes up 1 to 3% of TV content, yet 50% of social media content is sports related. People not only want to consume us, they want to talk with us and about us while they're consuming us. They're on a tablet, their computer, a mobile device, and they want to talk about anything at any time, and in many cases it ends up being sports. The NBA has 320 million social media followers, double that of any other league. Really significant because I'm standing here, and I remember sharing this last year with the Packers. That is really stunning, knowing that the #1 sport in this country, by far, is the NFL. I acknowledge that completely. There's not a question about it. Yet we have more social media followers than they do. 1 million hits per day on NBA YouTube channel. Just a large number. I always read Sports Business Journal. This came from mid-July. And as you sit here today in marketing and trying to figure out where you want to go from here and what your opportunities are going to be when you leave school, this is really promising for you. One of the most telling signs that social media is here to stay will come very soon is every organization, and we're one of them, and we've just begun, which presumably has a marketing and communications department, which we do, will have a social media department. We now have a digital media department, and we're kind of growing into social media. There will be several full-time employees whose job descriptions will consist of strictly social media-based responsibilities. That's exciting. You're in marketing, you're looking for different opportunities. A whole new horizon will be open. Social media, though, will have to figure out a way to be monetized. How can it be a revenue generator for an organization? But nonetheless, it's pretty exciting. So, the process we have in place to engage and find customers is to attract, engage, connect, convert. We're going to talk about attract, engage, and how we did it in the past, how we are doing it more efficiently in the future, and then we're going to look at a couple case studies from different sports on the connect side towards the end of the presentation. The importance of relationship selling, and I love the fact that this conference has the word selling in its name. When Jimmy suggested this topic, it excited me, I'm always apprehensive to talk to college students because there's no curriculum on sales. I laud Jimmy for this effort he's trying to make to have students understand how important the selling and the sales process actually is. It drives the entire economic engine worldwide. It just does. So it's important that as you build a base moving forward, even if you don't want to sell, even if you're going to, oh my gosh, I don't want to sell, that's not why I went to college, and I want to market. You still need to understand what drives the behavior of a customer to become a really good marketer. So you have to understand the sales process. So I'm thrilled with the topic. Now, as I just emphasized the word selling, what's most important to this presentation is the fact that you're working off of a relationship. That is actually the key to selling. Very quickly, very simply, this is the 4 simple steps of relation-based selling. You meet somebody who might need your product and services, and you connect with them in a genuine way. Then you have to follow up. Must be able to solve real-life problems. That's what my salespeople do every day. They solve problems. They find solutions. That's what happens in the stay in touch. How do you find a solution that fits for this business that you're talking to or for a consumer that you're talking to? How does it fit? How does it make sense for them? Very, very simple. Keep it simple, keep it real, and make a connection to build on. So we start with attract. And I'm going to jump through these slides early to get to the meat of it, which is more of the case studies. The key here, we used to call to qualify. On the B2B side, which is business to business, we would call a vendor. We would buy a list of all the companies in southeastern Wisconsin. The information, and you can see what we'd get. Helpful, yes. Overwhelmingly helpful, no. It would tell us the name of the company, where they're located. We got a phone number. We got their business size, meaning how many employees they have, and we have their sales total, or their sales revenue total. Business to consumer, we would literally take all of our single game buyers from the previous year, or group ticket buyers, and we would hand that list out to our salespeople, and we would tell them, call and try to sell a ticket plan, a package. All they knew was a name, a phone number, and that they had come to the Chicago Bulls game last year and where they sat. It was calling to qualify. Not a very good way to do it. And what else I note on here it's always kind of interesting as we talk about this old way and this new way, note the date on this card. And this really could be a card from 2008, 2009. That's the old way, but the old way was 3 or 4 years ago. We have come an incredibly long way. So now how do we handle it? We use obviously the digital medias and the social medias, which abound. There are ample opportunities for information to the point that you can actually end up in an information overload if you don't manage it in the right way. LinkedIn and data.com are the two that my salespeople use the most because they're more business-based. Who's on LinkedIn? Very good. That's very impressive. As you can see here, this is my ticket sales manager with the Bucks, and he is on LinkedIn. And this was actually somebody that saw the Milwaukee Bucks, and asked to join his network, which again, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to network at all times. Who is on LinkedIn that is a part of some groups? Not as many hands up. I would highly encourage you to go to LinkedIn again and try to join as many groups as you possibly can. I went to UW-Milwaukee. I'm on a UWM journalism group. I'm on a group sales group. I'm on a season ticket retention group. All of the different affinity groups that you belong to, you should try to spread that outreach and join these groups. I don't know necessarily what the conversation will be day to day, but you're making and beginning to start building relationships, which is obviously very crucial. Data.com, same thing. Anybody use Data.com? Wow. Very similar to LinkedIn, so I would recommend it. Facebook, Twitter, again, very good. A little more social, but as you can see here, we use Twitter to always let people know that there's a marketing message from us on whatever we're doing. In this case, it was simply saying, hey, just so you know, we have a game tomorrow night. Join us if you can. And again, remember, we went from call to qualify. Now we went to qualify to call. And again, I'm sure everybody does it every day, and it goes without saying, but it has become like part of the lexicon of any salesperson as we're talking about a business or some type of high-ranking individual that we're trying to sell to. What did the search come up and show? You can find out so much information simply from a Google search that it's almost laughable. How many people do a Google search at least once a day on anything? Again, not surprised. So we dig in a little deeper. This is us finding more intelligent information. And hold that thought, because you're going to see me use another term on the more intelligent as we move forward into engage. We work with our partner, Ticketmaster, who is our ticketing partner, to analyze and score, not a very small sample size, 62,000 leads. 62,000 customers that either bought a ticket to a Milwaukee Bucks game, a single game promotion through the Bucks, a ticket plan through the Bucks, a group ticket offer through the Bucks, or in southeastern Wisconsin, attended an event in the BMO Harris Bradley Center. Whether it be a concert of any kind, or a family show, or any other event that may be in there, we now score those leads. We score them in 3 ways. We score the leads for the customer's propensity to buy 1 to 43 games, which is a planned grade by ticket price score, which we'll get into in a little bit. We also grade them by ticket spend. 4 categories: $25 or less, to a range of $100 or more. Everybody gets put and scored in a bucket, and then we will build our message around this data. Data is king, and it has made us a far more efficient as we sell and as I feed leads to my guys and gals. The third one is the overall season ticket spend. Less than $1,000 and ranges all the way up to $7,500 or more. And as you can see, we're going to go through this one a little bit closer. And I'm going to look here because I can't necessarily read something I want to read on here. So this one specific. So we look at season ticket spend, potential, likelihood, single game ticket spend, potential, likelihood, and then how many games they are likely to buy based on probably 30 to 40 factors or variables that put them in one of these buckets. So out of this 61,681 accounts, 11,387 have been identified and put in a bucket that they have a likelihood or a higher propensity to buy a full 43-game plan. Now understand what I'm saying. It's a higher propensity to buy that plan than the other three, B, C, and D. Because somebody's sitting there saying, you know what, your worries are over. If you can identify those 11,387 people that should or can buy season tickets and you sell them all, we're sold out. That's not the reality. So understand what I'm saying. It's the higher propensity for them to buy that season ticket package. And then what do our salespeople know about these people that they did not know before? We'll look at the left-hand column. And again, I'll start at the bottom. This bucket of 10,000 names has the likelihood or the possibility of spending $9,429 on a season ticket. We can divide that out over 41 games and find out what their average price point is and then message to them about the best seats, because at that price range, we're talking about some of the best seats in our building. Then, they also know 70% of this bucket is 45 years or plus 45 years old. 60% has income of $125,000 or more. Two variables that, again, help shape the sales message as they pick up the phone and begin pursuit. Then, there are personics, groups, and clusters that are attached also to each one of these columns, breaking it down even further. For this one specifically, 12% of this bucket are in a category that have been termed established elite. We go over here to number 2. Established elite represents America's elite couples and singles. With no school-age children at home and the second highest income in the country, these households have enormous disposable incomes and pursue correlating luxuries and activities. Again, we will build a message then, and a product, and a recommendation based on that. That's not a group that is looking to bring their family out. Why? Why? Very good. I just wanted to see if you were still paying attention. Okay, so this is the new way of us using more intelligent information. Now we go into engage. The photo means nothing. I just think it's a cool photo. Who is this? I was going to say it's not Kareem. At that point, that was Lou Alcindor. That means a lot to everybody in this. Who knows the name Lou Alcindor? Oh my gosh. Jimmy, did you have your hand raised? Okay. I just want to know if you had your hand raised. Very good. Very good. Okay. Anyway, engaging in an old way, in the old way. Traditional medias, radio, TV ads, direct mail, newspaper, print ads, outdoor billboards, static outdoor billboards, because that has now grown into LED outdoor billboards that are completely changeable on the fly. This list is under old way, but in no way am I minimizing by putting it here. I'm only saying that the list was much shorter at one point in time and how we could engage. All of these mediums are still crucial to spreading a brand message and getting the most outreach, without question. So I'm not minimizing it at all. And you know what? I'm going to go forward on this one just to look at, and we'll go back. But on the engaged side, as we talk about the traditional medias, The new medias then are CRM, which is customer relationship management, which allows us to get a 360-degree understanding of who our customers are, what their likes are, what their dislikes are, who their family members are, when their birthdays come and go. All the touches, all the correspondences that we make with this customer over a 12-month period, we are now tracking so that we have that at our disposal when we talk to them the next time. Bucks.com/MVP is a program we're building out for our best customers, our season ticket holders. And we're kind of gravitating and moving towards a program of MVPs that we'll touch on a little bit later. Live chat. Anytime you go on Bucks.com and visit, there is a live chat button that you can talk to one of our representatives literally all the time. I have 20 to 25 salespeople that are almost 24/7 live and active on Bucks.com on the live chat, meaning that on their mobile, they will leave it active so that if somebody's looking at a ticket at 11 o'clock at night, it's very simple to see that incoming message and they can be engaged in a conversation. We've already talked on the social media. We're doing targeted emails literally on a daily basis to various groups and constituencies. There's no such thing anymore as sending an email. At this point, given what I told you prior on the information and the scoring, they're all targeted at this point. Conference calls we do probably 3 or 4 times a year with our head coach and our general manager, which is simply providing a direction of team for the most part. And then the fast break e-offers kind of falls under the targeted emails. So the list has grown immensely of how we can message and build engagement. Going back, now taking it all the way down to the customer level. One more. and you kind of probably saw this already. But again, no more than 3 years ago at this point, this is the photo and this is the understanding we had of the season ticket holder, the Johnson family. It was totally based on their ticket spend. We knew where they sat. We knew how many children they had. We knew their lifetime customer value was X amount, which is simply simply saying this is their spend today. If they stay with us for 15 years, it's 15 times that amount. You get to the point of what their lifetime customer value is. That's $250,000 for the Johnson family, and at this point, we don't know what they look like. Through CRM, which we had just talked about previously, we now know that they personally attend 25 games a year. They share tickets with somebody named John Smith. They have 2 children. And you know what? I don't know why, and I'm a little bit disappointed, and somebody is probably sitting there and thinking what when it says 2 children. One Brandon Jennings fan, shirt size adult, owns home and away authentic jerseys. The other is a Monte Ellis fan, shirt size adult, medium, owns home authentic jersey and Ellis t-shirt. What's missing there? What's that? Name. That's exactly right. Good answer. That's what I thought. When I was building this deck, I thought, I can't figure out how we built this and missed on putting their names in. Because obviously we would know their names, and at this point we hope we know their birthdays. Why is it important? It's important because when we try to continue to engage with this family, we want to attract, we want to be attractive with something that we know they have an interest in. That, in that case, would be a Monte or Brandon autographed mini ball. Family eats dinner at the Palermo's Courtside Club nearly every game. Cadoba burritos occasionally on weekdays. Saz's food cart, nachos at halftime, and as everybody, ice cream. Not Dippin' Dots, just good old ice cream. So here's what we know about them today. The picture is much clearer. The lifetime customer value. The customer value now includes an ancillary spend. Why? Because they go to 25 games. There are another 16 games in which they are giving their tickets out to somebody else to use. Well, we have a feature with Ticketmaster that you can forward your tickets on to somebody else. With CRM and with this application with Ticketmaster, we're able to know who they're forwarding the tickets to. We can then try to begin a relationship with those folks and those people, seeing if they have an interest in a ticket plan. Thus, we have gone from customer value of $250,000 to a customer value of $600,000. Before I shared with you, we talked about on the attract side, more intelligent information. Now we're talking about more intelligent conversation. So we move on. We move on to the connect. We're going to spend the majority, we're going to spend after these two slides, the rest of it on our season ticket holders and what we're doing to evolve with season ticket holders. But I wanted to use this example because it's a strong indication, again, of where we're headed today with deeper connections and with trying to identify exactly what fits for somebody. This is a local freight trucking company, Conway Freight. They came to us, or we went to them in June or July, and one of our reps said, hey, would like to see if you have an interest in a Bucks ticket plan, knew a little bit about the company. They came back and said, you know what, we have an interest in you, but a ticket to a game 41 times a year doesn't work for us. We don't see any value in that. We don't understand what goodwill we can generate for our business, for our bottom line. So what they challenged us, they said, listen, we will work with you, but we need more than a ticket to a game, sit in a seat. So what we did is we put together a proposal for them that was really based on experiential, which is a really key word in sports today, is how do you build out the experience beyond, here's your seat, there's the game, have fun, that's it. We have to provide more. So what we did is we put together a package that included tickets and tickets to in one of our suites. I think it was no more than 10 total games of tickets, but it was 20 tickets per game. They wanted to learn more about our business. We built in a business of basketball behind-the-scenes tour. We provided their staff an opportunity to use our locker room to do one of their business meetings. We provided court time on our court for a fantasy game. We then also provided them our training camp facility to use that as a practice for however they wanted to use it with their employees or their family, the employees and their family members. And then we went to our trainer and tried to craft a health and wellness clinic that was 30 minutes long that we thought they would enjoy. $45,000 presentation or proposal to them, and they chipped away at it a little bit, ended up being a $35,000 sale for one of our people. That had we not built in the experiential, they would have simply walked away. Okay, so now we talk about season ticket holder, and it's a term that we're trying to move away from as quickly as we possibly can. We're trying to move from a season ticket holder to a membership. We are guided by a league that accumulates best practices from different leagues and different teams within our league. The gentleman that is the president of that group is Chris Granger, who's the executive VP of Team Marketing and Business Operations. This was a quote that I think he came out with no more than 2 or 3 months ago. We know we have to position season tickets differently. It is going to be less about buying 41 games and more about being part of a 12-month membership that gives you different access and experiences in and around your area. So I started this by telling you about the good times. We're going to sell more tickets than we ever have. We're going to retain more customers than we ever have. Yet we have to evolve, we have to move on, and we have to understand that without changing, we will quickly fall behind. So we're certainly not resting on our laurels, and as I said, this is something that's going on with all 30 teams right now as we're trying to build towards this 360-degree, 12-month-a-year relationship with these customers so that it no longer is a season ticket holder, but it becomes a membership. Why is this important? We are challenged almost daily by the ticket sale secondary market and how it is impacting our business day to day. In many ways, I'm using the second quote here, the thriving secondary market is more efficient, flexible, and sensible than buying directly from teams. Talk about a stake to the heart. That is literally a risk to our business moving forward. And we have to figure out a way to combat that. How? build out the membership so that it overwhelms simply going on the website on StubHub and saying, okay, I want the cheapest ticket for tonight's game, that's it. I mean, secondary market is driven by one thing, supply and demand. And, in Chicago, LA, Miami, New York, the tickets go through the roof. In other cities like ours where we have an inventory available, it becomes a little more difficult and a little more challenging as we have to navigate the secondary market and make sure people come to us first. We're not only challenged by the secondary market, we're also challenged by just a continued economic uncertainty. Our business was flipped upside down in 2008 when the economy collapsed. We've emerged from it, we're doing better, but there's not a single sale we make that we are not challenged to say, what is my value, what am I getting, how is this worth it for me, for my business, or for me personally? It is no longer discretionary income. It used to be. It used to be a fun thing to do. It no longer is. It's an investment by anybody. Another challenge, the improved viewing as you sit at home, the improved home viewing experience. Now, the NFL has been super challenged by this. It certainly impacts us, but the NFL is facing a threshold on having available tickets, which they have not had for many, many years, because people would rather sit at home with the Red Zone channel, with their mobile, with their tablet, and just interact socially and watch the game. So their reaction has been larger video screens in the stadiums and trying to put as many hotspots and building Wi-Fi in so that you can do the same thing at the arena or at the stadium as you can do in your home. And then finally, and you probably all know this, just the precious time that, or the people's precious time. We don't have enough of it. The world gets faster and quicker every single day, and you have to find, we have to find a way to fit into your schedule. And again, if we don't have value to it, it's not going to work. So we have to be more meaningful than just sitting and watching. So 5 pillars of success of a good membership. Convenient. Make my experience easy and problem-free. Make it easy for your members to do business with you, have processes and events in place that are consistent and are easy and work. Very simple. Ego enhancing. Show me visible signs of difference. Show me why not being a member actually will have a significant impact on me. How are you enhancing it? Empowering. Make me feel my voice is heard. We're really good at this. We probably have 6 to 8 surveys, major surveys to our season ticket holders, our members, every single year. Always asking them, what did you think about our game night experience? What do you think about your benefits? What do you think about the incentives that we provide you? We have built out events at downtown local eateries. Have you enjoyed them? Always ask. Always ask. So we do surveys, we do focus groups, make them feel more vested in the decision-making process. Communal. Connect me with like-minded supporters. Very simply. Once they're connected, once they have a network built within your membership, meaning Section 202, all of the people that sit around them, over the years, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, they become a neighborhood. That's important. That's communal. It matters to them. We have we have data that supports that. If we can get you to a 3rd year of investing in a ticket plan, the likelihood of you staying with us to the 15-year mark, 2 or 3 decades, is about 75 or 80%. If we can get you to 3 years, you will typically stay with it because it's habit forming, you like it, and you see really, really significant value in it. And then finally, all-encompassing, cater to my other passions. We have to take care of anything related to Bucks basketball, but we also have to stretch that out a little bit, and if their favorite concert, or if they have kids in their family that likes Justin Bieber, we probably bought 75 tickets to the Justin Bieber concert that took place in the BMO Harris Bradley Center last Sunday night. Now, they paid for them, but we had to come up with 75 tickets for them. We kind of become a concierge, a willing concierge, so that they can depend on us at all times. So I go across the ocean. The 2 most popular sports in the world are what?
Soccer and basketball.
Very good. Soccer and basketball. Yay. Yay for basketball. The other is soccer. The world is as passionate about soccer as we are about the NFL. How ironic that they call it football, and here it's called football. Two of the strongest brands and the most iconic brands in soccer are Manchester United and probably FC Barcelona. FC Barcelona, again, is one of the strongest brands in the world, yet has been on the front cutting edge of building out this membership. They probably don't even need to, but they're really being smart in actually doing it. And FC Barcelona, as opposed to us, we probably have, on any given year, 8,000 to 10,000 season tickets. Members. They have 40,000 members. And they have built out this program, which is, anybody know Spanish? What's that? Very good. They have built out their membership program to be more than a club. 40,000 members strong. Going back to these pillars, these are really, being in the industry, these are the types of things that you're looking for all the time to say, wow, this is something that we need to try to replicate some way, somehow. Not exactly every single thing we're going to look at here, but the concept of it. So convenient. They now have a system in place for an automatic rollover for their members, for their season tickets, almost like a mortgage. They don't even send out a renewal notice anymore. They send out a note with some incentives that says, hey, why don't you just make it part of your automatic rollover, and every year you don't even have to deal with the renewal process. You're just in. You're part of it. Will never go away. They don't even have to renew. They simply have these people signed up with incentives and some early bird offers to be in an automatic rollover program. They're set. They almost have a consistency of a season. They almost have a consistency of a base out 5, 10, 15, 20 years. It's the envy of literally anybody and everybody in professional sports. What else? Again, you're talking about 40,000 members. They provide, and I don't know how to say the NOU, Camp Nou? Well, it is that simple. Okay, then I do know how. Camp Nou Kindergarten, on match days, they provide basically a daycare service for kids aged 2 to 12 who are cared for by trained staff, and it's a drop-off. The parents go to the game, they go on in, enjoy the game, and they can, they should have 4 seats, because if the 12, I would assume the 12-year-old probably wants to go to the game. Still pretty neat. Ego enhancing. Go to the Packer game on Sunday. Everybody will have a jersey on, a hat on, any type of different merchandise. They have it in their yards. I think if you saw it last year, people that follow the Packer brand are putting it on their tombstone. They want to be identified. So what FC Barcelona has done is they have given them a personal club email address. I guarantee you there's probably 20,000 people, because of the strength of that brand, that probably use that as their primary email address. That's pretty, it's pretty neat. Empowering. Presidential elections for adult members over 18 years of age every 4 years. The business side of the organization wanted to change uniforms. They could not change uniforms, or would not change uniforms, until the entire membership voted on whether they wanted to do it or not. And then once that vote took place and they voted yes, they crafted it that here are some options. What do you pick? They allowed their members to select their uniform. And it gets even better. MLS, Major League Soccer, Seattle Sounders, one of the most successful franchises that has ever launched. They are currently, right now, going through a vote of their members, their season ticket holders, of which I think numbers anywhere between 20 and 25,000, on whether to retain their president/general manager. Unprecedented. But talk about how they are empowering them and making them part of the process. So they are, I think they're currently, I think that it takes place, is the MLS season over now? Or it's ongoing? It's near the end, that's what I thought. They're in the playoffs, so when this concludes in the next 60 days, they will take a vote of the membership to see if they will retain their president and their GM. That's a wow. Communal. They don't allow anybody to play on their field except for members. And they sponsor a league in July in which you could sign up and play on their field, but they don't let anybody else play on it. Only for them. And then all-encompassing advanced theater viewings, previews, and other activities aimed at families and children for members. Makes sense. So, bringing it stateside. And I only added this one, and we'll go through it pretty quickly. Added this one because it's Major League Baseball. It's a San Diego Padres, and I just found it no more than 2 weeks ago. It was in the Sports Business Journal on October 8th. If you have an interest in sports marketing, I highly encourage you to go online and follow the Sports Business Journal. There are always job postings in there, but more importantly, there are state of the team, state of the business and industry type articles that will always be helpful to you. Takeaway here, very similar to what we just looked at with with FC Barcelona, except there, the third bullet down, members select type of membership that best fits, and they separate them by fanatic, social, business, family. Then they try to build that relationship around those interests. Example, business member is allowed to participate in the Padres golf tournament. A family type situation selects overnight camp out on the field. Again, playing to how they want to interact and how they want their relationship to be with you. And then us, how are we doing? We have a long way to go. We have just begun building season ticket holder to membership, and it will be called Bucks MVPs. We have done many of these activities over the years. I've simply attached these 5 pillars of success to how we're doing and what category they may fit in. All-encompassing. We have a golf outing in early September for cystic fibrosis in which we make it available to our season ticket holders to participate. The second year, and I'm kind of chuckling because we did it almost on a lark last year. We decided that it would be fun to try a home run derby. Anybody from Milwaukee? Anybody been to a Brewer game? Yeah. Okay, right outside Miller Park is Hellfair Field, which is a Little League field. We thought, as we began trying to build this out, let's try a home run derby and see who shows up. Last year we had 80 people show up, 80 season ticket holders. This year 140 season ticket holders showed up. It has turned out to be a really neat event. And it's the all-encompassing because the golf outing and home run derby for adults is outside the realm of what they usually get from us. Communal, the one on the bottom right. We had an event at Graffito's in which Jim Paschke, our TV voice, and John Henson, our rookie, met with our highest-end investors. There was a group of about 60 people, and what we did is we put it on the front end of the unveiling of our 2012-2013 dance team, Energy. Then finally, on the ego enhancing, we have a club space in our building for every single MVP. MVP being member, MVP being season ticket holder. So we have a space for every single one of them to go privately, that if you buy a ticket to the game on your own, away from a plan, you don't have access to these spaces. So, if you deliver on attract, engage, and connect, there's only one slide on conversion, which is that person, that company becomes a Bucks MVP, which is a member of the Milwaukee Bucks organization. How am I doing on time?
You're like 2 minutes over.
That's it? That's pretty good. Okay, that's good because
Pretty good.
I know last year I got kicked off the stage. There was music playing as I was. What's that?
You're almost at that point too. So.
Okay. I'm actually done with the presentation, and I know Jimmy wanted me to touch a little bit on employment with the Bucks. We have game night internships for sales and marketing, customer service, group sales, game operations. It totals probably 40. We have a staff of probably 40 strong interns that are really, in many ways, are our eyes and ears on a Bucks game night. We have opportunities during the day on some of our various events or some of our different strategies that we're implementing to have the intern work, but for the most part, it allows the student to understand how a professional sports game is put on any given night. And we have, as expected, most of our students come from Marquette or UWM. but we have been very well represented, not only on the internship side, but on the full-time side by Whitewater. We've had outstanding responses and outstanding employees with us. I think we probably have 5 to 7 right now that are on our full-time staff. What are we looking for? This is the first time we actually engaged in this. If you would go online and you apply for a position with us, which at this point may be an entry-level ticket sales position, we've added a personality a personality trait test that you would take and submit. This is the result of it. So if you ask me, what are you looking for? I would tell you, and this is just a name that they give it, but I would say this paragraph, if it represents who you are and you read this and say, my gosh, that's me, then you should probably strongly consider a career in selling something at some point in time, or submit a resume to us. We would love to receive it. This individual is naturally an assertive, outgoing, and socially oriented person. While they are not strong in the analytical sense, they have an uncanny ability to read people. Since they are more sociable and extroverted, this person is content building relationships and acquaintances. The Rainmaker is a person who thrives on putting deals together and has fun doing them at the same time. And then this construct that you're looking at, the red represents autonomy, the yellow is social ability, the blue is patience and pace, and the green is conformity. I won't go into the details on it. Only that it gives us a better sense of really who you are beyond a 30-minute interview which can always be hit or miss. Questions?
So any student in the audience from Whitewater or anywhere can apply?
Yeah, and you had said that, and I should say that. I actually brought some job descriptions with me. If you want them when I'm done here, I will hand out a business card from me and a job description for one of these positions. And I can tell you, it is a wonderful way to begin a career if you are interested in sports marketing. It doesn't mean you will sell forever. However, if you are successful in it, dollars will follow, and you may stay and find that you like it enough to continue that as your career path. But yes, absolutely. Stop by at the end. I'll provide both of those to you. Again, the job description is so that you understand exactly what we're looking for. And the business card is, if you have any question that you want to ask me, shoot me an email at work, and I promise you I will follow up.
And just a quick follow-up on that. When any business person gives you a business card, when you follow up in a phone call, an email, a letter, and say, I met you at the so-and-so event, and you gave me your business card, that's already a signal to them that you've taken the energy and motivation to proceed with this particular encounter. So regardless of school you're at, they have a lot of job positions, so it is a good way into sports marketing.
I saw a hand. Yes?
What?
Wait.
Hang on. This is going to go to PBS, so we need to shut up.
How strong is your marketing / social media in relation to other NBA teams? And do you work with any other NBA teams when it comes to marketing?
You know what, if you're defining strong as what our numbers are, we're probably in the lower quarter of the league as far as Facebook likes and on Facebook, Twitter followers and the like, and website traffic. We're in the lower quarter, but that's as much market-driven as it is anything else. I mean, there are workshops twice a year in which all of the teams' digital staffs get together and go over best practices. So I would say that as you look at the various teams, you will probably find some uniformity to the way things are presented. But we do a digital team meeting every week, and half of it is on brainstorming and think tank for how can we spread our outreach and how can we further engagement. I mean, it's all about engagement to start, and we kind of talked about this last year, but from engagement, it's great to have 3.5 million followers on Facebook, but you really want re-engagement, meaning that you have been compelling enough in your messaging and your outreach that they want to continue to have conversation with you, not just once. And this is the last session, isn't it? So everybody's probably ready to say, I'm done. Yes? Go ahead, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry, no, you got it's for the broadcast.
I was kidding.
Okay, here you go.
Okay, let me stand up. I'm gonna stand up. Give me a second. Another factor to consider besides, like you were saying, social media, I was just thinking this is another reason why NBA viewership is at an all-time high because of LeBron James and the Miami Heat winning a championship, because usually nothing against a small market, but if you have a team or an athlete, world-class athlete, usually more people will follow an interest in. For example, ever since Michael Jordan retired, or his second retirement in 1998, viewership kept going down 25% every single year.
Without question, and I'll go back to the way I presented it originally. I do think this technology renaissance has benefited us, but the core of our product is our players.
Right.
If there's no LeBron and Durant and Westbrook and CoBE and Dwight Howard and the list goes on, no question. There's no question that the impact of our best players and our best teams, and if you're making the point that Miami is a large market, Miami is probably a middle-sized market,
Right.
and LeBron plays there. But LeBron's popularity until the decision was extremely high in Cleveland. And the third or fourth or fifth player that I mentioned was Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook playing in
Small
Oklahoma
market.
City,
Small.
which can't be much more, I mean, it literally replicates Milwaukee as far as being a small market. So the product absolutely has to be strong, popular, and well-received, and from there, some of these technological innovations can allow you to take it to the next level, which is where we're at. The numbers that I'm referencing, at least on the ticket side, are exceeding the Jordan years. And buildings aren't necessarily larger at this point. I mean, they're really not. There are buildings that are now put up that are 2,000 to 3,000 smaller than they used to be. So to have record attendance tells you that something else is going on, but the core product is what drives it for sure.
And then
We talk all the time, the best marketing ploy for a professional sports franchise is what? Very good, winning. I mean, for all that we've talked about, I'll take 50-win seasons 15 years in a row, and our business will be strong.
and then one more question. As of recently, the past 10 years, the NBA in China has become very popular all of a sudden. Is it because, as you've been saying, the technological advances, or because of the arrival of Yao Ming, and we could say Yao Ming and maybe the flash in the pan, Jeremy Lin?
Combination of both. And really, it was a tactical measure by us, not us, tactical measure by the NBA to get involved in China in a bigger way. There's an NBA China. I mean, there is a league in China that we are a part of. That is NBA China. I mean, that Yao Ming probably helped drive that for sure. But, you know, many of our social media numbers include large numbers from China because of the population. And quite honestly, the next horizon that will come is India. And there will be probably a stronger NBA presence and basketball presence in India. These guys are done right here.
Let's give it up to the Milwaukee Bucks. Becoming a very good friend of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater.